Right, so donors to MPs in Parliament is hardly news, but fancy doorstepping the third biggest donor to MPs going and effectively getting the door slammed in your face when you ask about that. That's what happened to Sam Coates of Sky News when chasing up information on a company called MPM Connect. More on that in a moment. But how many of you have checked out the Electoral Commission website at some point or other to see what your MP has been receiving by way of donations? Shouldn't more of us be doing that, since it seems to be the case that this donor system gets abused repeatedly? Gifts and other incomes are used to get MPs to lobby for certain individuals or companies with vested interests, instead of representing us as they are elected to do. And each time it happens, they always promise us that all lessons will be learned, rules will be toughened up, pigs might fly, because they never are. Well, in fairness, if you've tried to navigate the Electoral Commission website, you might not have found it the easiest beast to work your way around. And as such, Sky have produced a tool to help you find this information out about your MP much more easily with a little interactive jobby they call their Westminster accounts. And it is a lot easier. It's a bit of fun, actually. Visit news.sky.com/Westminster accounts and get to the bottom of your MP's other incomes. My MP, for instance, Derek Thomas, happens to receive most of his donations from the Methodist Church. He's a Tory. What's so Christian about that? Let alone be given over £18,000 by the church for it, as he has. But of course, not every donor that might come up is so well known as that, or turns out to be as readily Googleable if you don't happen to know who they are. And this is where Sam Coates and MPM Connect come in. Coates, on camera, turned up to what looked like a residential address, which was the registered company address of MPM Connect. I checked the company out at Company's House. Again, public records anybody can go and take a look at to ascertain what that address was, and looked it up on Google Maps myself, and it very much is a residential street. It's even in a neighbourhood watch zone. Isn't that nice? Well, Coates got blanked. Apparently the people there were accountants, had never heard of MPM Connect, and presumably were unaware another company called MPM Connect 2 was also registered at their address, with the same two directors, named by both Sam Coates and in the public records at Company's House as Peter Hearn and Simon Murphy. Just two directors, no staff whatsoever, no idea who they even were. Yet they are listed by Sky, listed in their accounts of MPs' financial interests as the third largest donors to MPs in the register for this election period, after the Trade Unions Unite and the GMB. Now, where trade union money is the cleanest in politics, coming from ordinary unionised workers as it does, this mystery company is anything but transparent. But thanks to the register, we know who they've donated to as well. And it happens to be just three MPs, three Labour right-wingers. Dan Jarvis, the MP for Barnsley Central, was given £94,290 by them. Wes Streeting, yes, him again. Besides his private health donations, he got £60,900. And Yvette Cooper, the Shadow Home Secretary, has received £184,300 from MPM Connect. All of these are registered as being put towards office costs. So how come Cooper's office is so much bigger than Jarvis and Streeting's then? Streeting is the Shadow Health Secretary. Jarvis is currently only a Labour backbencher as far as I can see. How come he has the bigger office of the two, as these costs indicate? How come their expenses, all listed handily on mpsexpenses.info, that's another site you should check out for your MP on, indicate even more office costs? Just how big are these offices? Well, statements from both Cooper and Jarvis have revealed that MPM Connect is an investment company in the employment sector. Not that that really tells us much either. Peter Hearn was one of Yvette Cooper's backers when she ran for Labour leader against Jeremy Corbyn, handing her £75,000 towards her campaign back in 2015. Aside from donations via MPM Connect, Hearn has continued to donate to Cooper since, in a private capacity too, giving her another £41,000 in further donations. He also gave the Tories 10 grand in the run up to the 2010 general election, so read what you will into his political motivations on that score. Fundamentally, we have three right-wing Labour MPs being funded by a company with no website, no phone number, no actual office of its own, merely registered at the address of their accountants, in a residential street who denied all knowledge of them. It screams front for donations to me, but what does it say about the MPs taking that money too? It's not the only shady donor that's a bit mysterious in its doings, and of course the Tories have to be implicated here somewhere. And in another smaller donor, a broadband company based out of Blackburn called IX Wireless, who has split £138,000 of donations between 24 Tory MPs, though the fact a Tory peer, the former Tory MP James Wharton, holds a directorship in a company with a controlling stake in IX Wireless won't, of course, have anything to do with any of that. Sam Coates paid them a visit too with his cameraman, but turned up to what seemingly was an empty building with a flooded floor. Great work by Sky on this tool, though. It really does make checking your MP out so much easier. But there's more to dig down into once you start looking, and I did find it kind of addictive, so do give it a go. The dodginess is no less present, though maybe it is now a little bit easier for all of us to uncover ourselves.